What's up guys, it's Cynical, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about the Kingdom Hearts series second phase lineup that we got back at the beginning of 2020. Right at the start of the year, we got a 2020 trailer showing us the various different happenings that will be going on for Kingdom Hearts throughout that year, showcasing to us Melody of Memory as well as Dark Road. At the beginning of this trailer though, showed us a very interesting infographic, which was a Marvel-styled phase lineup of slots for Kingdom Hearts projects. This is something that we had never seen before, and I think at this point I feel like a lot of people have sort of forgotten about this. Still to this day, this is probably one of the most confusing phase lineups I think I've ever seen, and that's mainly because of like the different sized boxes, especially with the arrow setup that is clearly showing one box going into another box, up into a bigger box, down. Like the arrow thing confuses the hell out of me. I think now, because it's a few years forward, we're now in 2024, we have a little bit of a better idea towards this infographic, and we can actually fill it in ourselves. Now, here is my version. I have updated this to hopefully fit in the missing boxes, at least for those top boxes. We were talking about this when it first got revealed to us, but we believe that the bigger boxes are bigger projects for Kingdom Hearts, like proper games. Now here you can see we've got Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, Dark Road, and Melody of Memory. Those were already filled in. Since then, we've had the announcement of Missing Link and Kingdom Hearts 4. I believe those are the other two games that are going to be a part of the series' second phase. By the way, I think that it's important to note that phase and saga are two different things. You can, I guess, consider the series' first phase to be basically the entirety of the Darkseeker Xehanort saga, which is Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, Birth by Sleep, basically all of the games, without including any of the games from Remind forward. And obviously in comparison, looking at the second phase, if of course this is the true lineup with Missing Link and Kingdom Hearts 4 being in those two other bigger boxes, it's a pretty small lineup in comparison to that first one. I was trying to sort of theorize about what these smaller boxes could mean. Back then we were speculating that perhaps maybe the smaller boxes could be some spin-off type titles, but then again, if we are seeing that Union Cross Dark Road is actually taking up one of the biggest slots, for the likes of the mobile phone games, they can be considered to be put into the biggest slots. Hence, of course, I threw Missing Link up the top. We were also speculating that perhaps maybe the smaller boxes could be things that are unrelated to a game and rather other side projects. Back in 2020, there was that rumor circulating around that Disney Plus is going to be doing a Kingdom Hearts series. This is something that the community has wanted for a very long time and would be very successful on Disney's behalf. But there was a rumor circulating via various different journalists suggesting that yes, this is currently in the works between Square Enix and Disney Plus. It is going to be created on the Unreal Engine. And since then, since that massive burst of like, yeah, it's happening from all of these different sources, we've heard nothing. Like, there is nothing more on even the existence of a Kingdom Hearts TV show. It is uncanny though that a bunch of different journalists that do in fact have their own reputations all came out at the same time, pretty much supporting one another, saying, yeah, no, this is a real thing. So even though it has been almost about 4 years since those rumors were circulating, it's not to say that this doesn't exist. Square Enix and Disney might just be waiting for the perfect time, if in fact it is actually real. They might be waiting to drop it around the time that Kingdom Hearts 4 starts its promotional cycle, or the series finally returns to being active again, as it sort of has been a little bit dormant since 2020. So very likely that if the TV series is a real thing, it could definitely fit into one of the smaller boxes down here, but we have 5 in total. Now I was trying to speculate, like, maybe these smaller boxes pertain to that of like events that have happened that take place around the same time of like these other major games also releasing. Like, this is an actual timeline that we're looking at here. You know, like, the more I start to try and piece together something with like other smaller reveals, like let's say for instance, Xbox finally getting the Kingdom Hearts collections, or like Kingdom Hearts releasing on PC, stuff just doesn't line up at all with the arrows. The arrows are the things that just make this entire layout incredibly confusing. One thing that I don't think enough people talked about with the arrows, you'll notice that the arrows are all in very specific places. Like, for instance, the fourth big box, there is an arrow that's positioned just between box 4 and box 5. This arrow here, flowing from small box 2 into big box 2, is positioned right in the middle of big box 2. Yet for the arrow that goes up into big box 3 from small box 3 is right at the end. Like, they're all laid out in very specific places. So then it makes you start to wonder, like, are these actually smaller projects, or is this like maybe the second line in regards to these smaller boxes that is a part of phase 2 once the big boxes have all released, for that of like Missing Link and Kingdom Hearts 4, if they truly are the other two big projects for the two big boxes? Does the arrows then indicate that the other projects down the bottom actually take place during the times of the other Kingdom Hearts games above? For instance, will there eventually be a Kingdom Hearts game after Kingdom Hearts 4 that will be taking place right before the events of Kingdom Hearts Remind? The next game after that then has something to do with taking place after the events of Kingdom Hearts Remind, but may have some connection into the events of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross and Dark Road. Possibly a game that revolves maybe around the Foretellers. I know for sure a Lushu game would be super cool. For small box number 3, it's positioned right below Melody of Memory, so could this game be taking place at the same time as Melody of Memory? Maybe when looking towards Roxas, Xion, and Axel, their adventures off in the other Disney worlds, or looking at Ventus, Terra, and Aqua, their next adventure in the Realm of Darkness. Small box number 4, because it is positioned just underneath big box 4, but is also underneath a little bit big box 5. Big box 4 being Missing Link, does that mean small box is taking place between that of mainly to do with that of Missing Link's time era, but also somehow then intercepts into that of the time of Kingdom Hearts 4. What if this could potentially be more of a console version of Missing Link, but focusing on one specific character and playing as them throughout that time era that eventually links up to Kingdom Hearts 4? And small box number 5, being that it's right underneath Kingdom Hearts 4, if that is Kingdom Hearts 4, and is right at the end of this supposed possible timeline, could this potentially be Verum Rex, a game that is focused more on Yozora, his very own game? Also, one thing I have to talk about too is I think people are sort of misremembering what Tetsuya Nomura said around the time that Kingdom Hearts 4 was revealed, but in an interview he was talking about specifically Verum Rex. He's aware that there is a lot of hype and anticipation around this game. He didn't mention though that Verum Rex is in development, or if that's even a game. I guess in a sense he sort of alluded to it with mentioning that the hype for Verum Rex is real, but he just more so mentioned here that he wasn't sure whether or not to call Kingdom Hearts 4 Verum Rex or Kingdom Hearts 4. He ended up going with Kingdom Hearts 4 as he feels like that strongly relates more so to Sora, which KH4 is going to revolve around Sora, and by calling it Verum Rex it might cause a little bit of confusion. But I definitely don't doubt that there will eventually be a game called Verum Rex, and small box number 5 could be it. The other interesting thing I find about this is like Tetsuya Nomura has not talked about this infographic at all. There's been like no official word from Square Enix detailing this or even mentioning this. I believe Tetsuya Nomura has mentioned like the Kingdom Hearts series is going into its second phase, but has never really elaborated on what that means. Saga basically means the canonical story that takes place in the collection of those games. So Darkseeker Saga, that is everything to do with Xehanort. You have the Key Saga, which is Missing Link, which is Union Cross, Unchained Key, Dark Road, and then of course we've got the Lost Master Saga, which is going to be Kingdom Hearts 4 onwards, but phases are different. It's basically a series of different projects released in a space of time that aren't necessarily pertains to the same saga. The other thing that's really annoying about this infographic is there is some writing in the second smaller box, and it's like blurred out. Like, I feel like Square Enix knew that people were going to be paying close attention and would try to decipher what this infographic means, and they just blurred that text intentionally, but it's only text, there's no logo there. And also, why is there like 3 medium-sized small boxes and 2 small boxes? What does that mean? There's also some blurred text sitting just over the logos too, and I think you can just make out it says code and then like something else, and that's different for each of the logos. This could be like the code name or something of each of these projects or each of these games, but like, why include this? I don't know. It's the code thing now that's also like confusing me. Why even put that in there? What does it mean? As we've been talking about, I do feel like 2024 is going to be a good year for Kingdom Hearts. We know that Missing Link is at least due to come out this year. As we have talked about as well, I think that once Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is wrapped up, the focus on Kingdom Hearts will resume, meaning that we will hopefully get some Kingdom Hearts 4 news or an update or something sometime this year. But I hope in the midst of all of the stuff going on with 4 and Missing Link that we get a little bit more context towards the series' second phase timeline infographic thing, because it literally makes 0 sense and will continue to make 0 sense until Nomura actually provides some context towards it. I need to know why the arrows, like, why are they in specific places? They're all differently laid out, and it has to mean something. Anything like this when it comes to Kingdom Hearts and Nomura, there's always a reason. Always a reason! I've been thinking about this non-stop for almost 4 years now, and it is driving me crazy. Please provide some context, Square. However, I would like to bring this back into relevance so that people can start discussing it. I would love to know your extended thoughts on the series' second phase lineup now that a few years have kind of rolled by. What do you think about the updated lineup with including both Missing Link and Kingdom Hearts 4 into the bigger boxes, and what are your thoughts and opinions towards these smaller boxes? Would love to know. However, guys, that is going to do it for today. Again, I want to thank all of my Patreon supporters. You guys are absolute legends. Be sure to follow me on my other social media platforms. Links in the description down below. Be sure to subscribe to keep up with all the latest and kind of greatest. That being said, I'm Cynical. Hopefully having a fantastic day, and we'll talk real soon. Peace.